Now on this New Year's Eve, it's the end of the beginning of a century, and the perfect time to recall the past in 100 years.
In 1900, there are special services in most churches throughout the country to mark the closing of the old, the opening of the new century. Church bells are rung at midnight and the streets are filled with people exchanging greetings. 1918, the Irish Independent editorial criticising Countess Markiewicz MP draws letters of complaint from the public, including one from Gonne MacBride. However, one from the Yorkshire Post says the Countess is the wife of a Pole, not a British citizen, but an alien who cannot be elected. 1931, Robert O'Flaherty, a New Yorker of Irish extraction, arrives on Inishmore on the Aran Islands to prepare for the shooting of a film dealing with the life of the islanders. 1940, Dr. James Ryan, Minister for Agriculture, warns of a possible food shortage. In a radio broadcast, he calls for the production of all essential foods in Ireland, and ministerial orders made demanding additional tillage land. 1955, marauding bands of teddy boys break windows in Christchurch Place, where thousands are gathered to hear the bells. Whisky and brandy are stolen from Findlaters. Dublin ratepayers will foot the bill. 1961, Telefís Éireann goes on air as President de Valera inaugurates the new service.
To address you on our new service, Telefís Éireann.
And after the initial proceedings, with contributions from Siobhán, McKenna and Micheál MacLíammóir, the station counts down to the new year with celebrations in the Gresham Hotel and outside in O'Connell Street. 1975, 5 people are killed, 30 injured as the Rosslare-Dublin passenger train derails at Clough Bridge, Tubberneering, 3 miles south of Gorey in County Wexford. It's the worst rail crash in the history of CIE. 1998, the Irish pound's traded for the last time as the euro currency is launched. Its first major market test will be in the new year. And the funeral takes place in Dublin of Cathal Goulding, an IRA chief of staff in the 60s. He was a key figure in moving militant republicanism away from the gun to politics. 1999, the last sunset of the millennium occurs at 19 minutes to 5 at Dursey Head in West Cork. And as the candles are lit around the country, the millennium celebrations get underway. President Micheál at Áras Nuachtaráin, the Taoiseach attends a family concert in Dublin's Merrion Square.